Hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome. I can.
So,
Yeah, you found a spot in the end. Have you been running around a bit?
a little bit, yeah, because everything's closed for the old COVID. So I was like, all my usual spots gone.
Oh my god. I'm trying to listen and see if I can. I can't really hear any music, I have to say.
Good. There's
Oh no,
definitely.
there's a bit. No, there's a bit. There is a bit. Yeah, you made it. So anyway, folks, I was just chatting with Tom, and he was saying, yeah, I'm having a few problems getting onto the Wi-Fi. So I think he's been running around. You've been teaching at the Guildhall, I guess, today.
I've been teaching all day, yeah, in the basement. So I thought maybe I'll try and come where there's some natural light. But of course now it's dark, so I've missed the whole day
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah. Still good to be working, teaching.
Yeah, and it's the first day we've had, so it's been really nice to meet all the new guys and people I haven't taught before.
Nice.
Nice bunch.
Yeah, cool.
Really
Are you
nice.
teaching just bass or sort of ensemble classes and that kind of thing as well?
No, just one-to-one bass. Um,
Cool.
I see, yeah, second, third, and fourth years, and a few drummers as well, which has been nice.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm enjoying it.
Great.
It's a long day, but it's great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess with drummers you can play with them. You can play duo. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did today. We did one lesson duo, and then one where he bought sax, so he played sax trio. So yeah,
Nice.
it's just good to like talk about stuff because
Yeah.
I remember from my time at Guildhall, like a lot of stuff wasn't talked about until we got out of college.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I've heard that from a few people. But before we go on to that,
Mm.
we've got our first question, which is from
Already.
Julian Heppel, who says, "Tom, are you outside my office?" I believe he
I'm
is,
I am
Julian.
close to your office. Yeah, if Jules wants to
um,
come and appear over my right shoulder, he's welcome.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, Ferdinand, Sandy, Julian, Annalise, and anyone else who's hanging out with us, and the people not on Facebook as well, who we don't see here. Yeah, the whole world can hear you, Tom. So
Great.
yeah, the cacophony of students practicing. No, don't worry, it's not too bad at all. So I'm really excited today. Tom has very graciously, on behalf of the Empirical boys, Lewis, Nathaniel, and Shane, um, basically said it's all right to play some amazing, amazing videos. I mean, seriously, these put most kind of jazz, you know, local jazz scene videos to absolute shame. You boys look so sharp, you sound so sharp, and I don't mean out of tune. I mean, very, very in tune.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah. So, Tom, before we get onto that though,
Mm.
you kind of escaped to Rimini, right? Kind of early on in lockdown, and then you came back to London when?
When was it? It was about 3, 4 weeks ago now.
Okay,
Yeah, I was very fortunate to get a kind of last minute gig, um,
great,
which was one of the live streams at Ronnie's. Um,
lovely.
and also I ended up doing a prom, one of the BBC proms with Anushka.
I wanted to ask you about that, man.
Yeah, so that all happened kind of last minute, so I bailed from Italy very quickly to come back
Yes,
and do that.
talk to me about that. I mean, that must have been unbelievable.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean, in
really
more
actually.
ways than one, I guess.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I mean, firstly, just the whole context of playing in an empty Albert Hall, um, it's just mental. And
Yeah.
also, I hadn't seen Anushka for a long time, and it was obviously in the circumstances as well. Like being able to play music again with her and Manu is just like, yeah, it's just really emotional. We were all like super like, oh, this
Oh
is
man. Oh
fantastic.
yes, Manu Delago, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a joint kind of prom, so some of his music as well. And then to
Amazing.
add to that, Jules Buckley was conducting, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen Jules for about 10 years, since
Yeah.
Guildhall days, you know, so
Wow.
it was like this kind of triple threat
Yeah.
situation. And no, it's really great, and playing some of the music I've played with Anushka before, because I toured with her for a number of years. So yeah, really emotional. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, great, man. I
Mm.
was. Yeah. I was. I think I must have clocked it on the socials somewhere, and I was just thinking, God, Tom, that's got to be such a nice such a nice experience.
Yeah, it was. It's on the BBC Four on the iPlayer if anyone wants to watch
Amazing.
it. Yeah.
So the last time that I saw Anushka in the flesh was with you when we went to watch that tabla concert. There was like two tabla players, and Anushka
Yeah.
was in the front row with a load of other amazing kind of Indian musicians, and everyone was really kind of like, you know, delighted to see her there. And
Yeah, she's very revered and respected in that community.
yeah,
She's lived here for a long time, so um, yeah, she's known, especially at the Bavan. That was where we went to see it, wasn't it? Do
yeah,
you
yeah,
remember they were all counting? Everyone
yeah.
was counting because the harmonia player was struggling a bit. You remember?
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was amazing concert.
Yeah, it was great. Some serious, serious tabla playing.
Mm.
Yeah, so, okay, cool. Talk to me about Empirical. So this year was gonna, I mean, we don't want to dwell on it too much. I just listened to our conversation from, it was kind of April
Mm.
that we chatted before. We covered some good stuff, you know. I'm not going to remotely suggest that we say all the same things. But tell us a little bit about the band. So, yeah, in your own words.
Yeah, so the band in its kind of current form, we started playing in around 2008, and then so it's been almost 12 years now of playing, which is a pleasure and also quite amazing that we've stuck together so much over the years.
Yeah.
So yeah, this year we were supposed to be artists in residence at Wiltshire Music Centre, but of course that's been kind of put on hold.
Mm.
Um, and the idea was that we were to develop some new music. We're going to do one of our pop-up projects.
Yeah.
We actually did do a session with the youth band there, and basically just be like empirical, like an intensive empirical
Yeah.
vibe in that wonderful venue they've got there.
Mm.
And we did a concert with Gwilym actually, who guested Gwilym Simcoe. That was amazing. So yeah, and we just really wanted to develop some new music this year. That was going to be our thing, because it's been a while since we've done an album. It was
Yeah.
2018 was the last one, so
Okay.
it was time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Okay.
it depends
Yeah.
how much of a backstory you need. You can find it on our website if you
Sure,
want.
sure. Yeah, well, I guess there's a lot to talk about in 12 years.
Mm.
So yeah, we don't need to go into every gory detail, but why don't you tell us a little bit about one of the highlights in recent years, which I'm going to assume it was a highlight anyway. I mean, you've done loads of cool things, but Dizzy's, and then we'll go over to the video.
Yeah, so we got offered a gig, a couple of gigs in America, and then we decided to turn it into a bit of a tour. So we managed to get a gig at Dizzy's 2 nights doing the late show, which was an experience.
Yeah.
And we decided that, well, it's such an iconic place and it's a great place to play and it sounds great. So why not record it and film it? And so yeah, so we'll watch the video and that's the result. But yeah, so much stuff happened on that tour actually. It was kind of not our first trip to America. We've been to America before with the old group in 2008 in the summer. But yeah, this time we did a festival in Canada. We also met our record label, Cuneiform Records from Washington.
Steve Feigenbaum.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really nice to meet him in the flesh, so to speak, because I only seen him on Skype. So it was really nice to make that connection. Yeah, we had so many things happen. We went to the Library of Congress. We got an invitation to go and see Eric Dolphy's files. So he's got like boxes of his manuscripts and stuff.
Yeah.
We've been involved with looking at his music.
Yeah.
So we got to do that. Yeah, we did 2 nights at Dizzy's, and on the second night at Dizzy's, I mean it's quite a sad story, but a good friend Marco Panacea, the bass player, I was borrowing his bass. He dropped his bass after the gig. It was smashed. So we were dealing with that as well. We also we did driving. We drove to all the gigs. So it was a lot of time in a car with 4 lads. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. But I guess musically the best thing was just to get to play 5 nights in a row in America.
Yeah.
I mean, when does that happen? Yeah, very rarely. So.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, let's hear. So, is this the first night at Dizzy's or the second night?
This is the second night, yeah.
Cool.
And this is it's a piece that I wrote for the band. It's relatively new, actually. Then
Mm.
we have recorded it. Yeah, and it's a piece about the kind of the quick title is "We Should All Be Nicer to Each Other."
Sure.
But it's a bit more involved with that, and it's about how to get on in our society. You have to have an element of indifference to some things. So that's the deeper meaning. And it's called indifference culture.
Beautiful, man.
Thanks, man.
So deep.
Yeah, it's odd watching it back. As you know, as a musician, like it's difficult to see beyond what you played. And the
Yeah.
memories of the situation.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's nice.
Great. You told me it was quite a stressful gig.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of context is that it was the late show at Dizzy's, so it's after the main show. So you've literally got half an hour, 40 minutes to change over from the main show, and I think that day was an album launch or something. I can't remember the band, but there was loads of people in there, and obviously we had 3 cameras to bring in and all the sound gear and stuff. And so it's literally like go, and we didn't have a chance to check anything.
Yeah.
So it was a bit like, okay, now we've got to play as well. We're playing some newish music, but yeah, it came out all right.
Yeah, came out great, man. Came out great. I think that's one thing that touring teaches you. You know, you can be tired, really hungry, really stressed, but at any moment, then you have to bring it.
Mm.
And it takes a while to build up those kind of chops a bit, doesn't it? I mean, sometimes when you play a piece for the first time, you realize that you don't actually know all of the piece. So this is after all the music is done. It's can you then deliver something spirited in the moment, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think particularly with Empirical, like the nature of how we play the music is to take big risks with it and to really force yourself to make a decision about what to play in the moment. So watching that video, I remember some of the decisions that I made, and I can see the decisions that Shane is making. Because, for example, I never tell him what to play, or indeed if he wants to play at all. So for quite a lot of
Yeah,
that, he's not playing. He's
yeah,
just
yeah,
sitting there.
yeah.
So and I just think I really like that as a performance. And each time the form goes round in that piece, Lewis can choose how fast he wants to play it. So again, like the middle bit was really slow.
Yeah.
So then we doubled up the feel, and that's unexpected.
Nice.
Stuff like that. So it's like, but that adds a layer of responsibility and stress, because
Yeah.
when you're making those fundamental choices in the moment and you're tired and hungry and you've just set up and haven't sound checked, then it's like it can be a bit full on. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I on that Facebook time hop thing a couple of days ago, something came up from a gig in with the HLK boys in Russia, and you can just I can see on my face. I'm like, that is the look when, because it doesn't matter how bad a gig or like how bad a sound check is, the world is not going to end. But there are times when sometimes if it gets to you, in the moment it can feel like the world is going to end, and I can see my expression. I just thought, yeah, that's the I'm doomed kind of expression. But I
yeah,
just yeah,
we've talked about that before. Like you just have to raise your game enough, so even if you're feeling off, it's still at a high level. You know, so the
yes,
band's a good level, even if we've had no sleep or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think
Still good.
yeah, bringing the floor level up is really
Exactly.
important. So just a quick bit of housekeeping. This is the quarantine zone. Thank you everyone who's tuned in. It's lovely to see you, Andrea. Someone with a amazing Russian name that I can't read is tuned in. Thanks for joining us. Zeba, happy birthday to Yasmin Jones, who is hopefully watching via Zeba. Nice to see you, David and Julie. So this is the quarantine zone where normally I'm trying to think up new interesting collaborations now that anyone no one has any gigs pretty much. I mean, you know, there are one or two, but most people have had their diaries kind of wiped. And while I'm kind of devising new content, I thought it'd be really cool for everyone to meet the chaps in the band. So in my band, my main group. So it's been really nice. You are the last, Tom. We've hung out with James Madron, Ivo Neem, Michael Chillers,
Yeah.
and you know, so so thanks for being part of that. And I have been talking to some Empirical alumnus today
Yeah.
about doing a collab. In fact, one of them is done already, actually. And I'll give you a clue. It's not Jay Phelps and it's not Neil Charles. Can you guess who it is?
John.
Who's John?
John Discreet.
Oh, John Discreet. I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah,
It might be
yeah.
someone after him.
Kit then.
Yeah, it's Kit. Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so Kit sounds really nice. So there's a little link. Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously he's a bad cat. So yeah. Anyway, so that will be fun.
Great.
Right, but here we are. Talk to me a bit more about this next video. This is going to be distraction tactics. I like that title. You've got great titles, Tom. They're better than mine.
Well, I mean, so both Distraction Tactics and Indifference Culture are the names of our EPs from 2019, and it's supposed to be a bit of a social commentary. You know, it's
Yeah.
a bit like, you know, this crazy times, which have got even crazier, it turns out. But yeah, it's exploring some of those themes of like unrest and distraction tactics is fairly self-explanatory, and it's to do with when the politicians or whoever is telling you something, but actually something else is going on that maybe we should be more concerned about.
Yeah.
And so it's quite an angry piece. It's supposed to be like have this feeling of unrest. Nothing ever quite resolves. And again, technically, I wrote as little as possible for everyone.
Yeah.
It's probably an 8-bar composition.
Wow.
And the actual take is like
Oh my
15
God.
minutes.
Yeah, 16 minutes. Yeah. Okay, great.
Sums it up pretty much.
Yeah. Great.
So yeah, and this is shot in the pop-up that we did.
Yes.
Pop-up jazz lounge that we run. So we take over an empty shop for a week and do sets of music every day, like 3 or 4 sets. And this was just a take from that. This was in the Jazz Festival 2019? I can't remember. 2018.
Yeah.
Can't remember now. Wow. Yeah.
Great. So folks,
enjoy.
Empirical do this amazing thing, the pop-up. They did it in Old Street Station, where in one of the booths, you know, where there's coffee, you get like a samosa, croissant, and then Empirical. And they were doing something like 3 sets. Was it 3 sets a day, or was it more?
We actually ended up doing 6 half-an-hour sets.
Wow.
But of course, it's like a jazz half an hour, so it's more like 40-45 minutes.
Yeah. Awesome. But I'm going to link to that video because there's a really interesting video about that, so I'll post that here.
Yeah, great. We did it all over. We've done 7 or 8 incarnations of it.
Yeah, and doing more, hopefully, as well.
Well, we were supposed to do one this year that obviously got postponed or cancelled. We don't know yet. And we're trying to figure out how we can take it online, maybe, and do it like a virtual live streamed pop-up. So exploring that.
So I'll post a link about that project on Facebook, but this piece is called Distraction Tactics, which is kind of from that sort of thing. So Here we go. Awesome.
I was actually laughing out loud at a lot of that.
Yeah.
Just on so many levels. Like some of the things Nathaniel plays is just like...
Man, his entrance right at the end, just before you brought in the groove, I was just like, whoa, that's like a sort of lightning bolt or something.
I really like in the midst of like when it's all building up, he'll suddenly play something that's really overtly quaver time. And it's this really out kind of, it's just got so much feel in it. And then the Shane's solo in that is like the way it builds, and then like maybe 2/3 of the way through, it's like it sounds like it's going to resolve, and then he leads it into this bit of tension where it doesn't resolve. Yeah. And it goes to a whole new section. It actually makes me laugh because that was like, you know, like 6:30 on a Friday. And people are coming from work, and they're like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah. Oh man,
it's amazing.
Beautiful, and it's so well filmed and recorded that it's quite nice. Like, I mean, I'm loving it. I'm just like enjoying it like a concert, you know. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of the pop-up. You know, there were some people in there who came all day
Yeah.
to watch it. You know,
Little
really.
cameo from Steve Mead as well.
Steve Mee was in there,
Yeah.
yeah. A few familiar faces from the scene who's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was filmed. That was kind of an off chance, really, because it was they were shooting a kind of behind the scenes kind of thing for London Jazz Festival. So this dude called Tom Ah came down with his camera, and he just filmed happened to get the whole gig from one angle. And then we persuaded him to give us some of the B-reel, and then we edited. My friend Chloe did an absolutely amazing job just editing around bits of it, and it's come out and it's
looked
cool.
like a multi-camera thing,
Yeah,
you know,
she's worked some magic on that.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Amazing. Yeah, well, amazing job. Hello, Steve Crocker, who's just tuned in.
Hey.
Okay, Tom, so we're sort of approaching the end. Couple of questions just to keep with the tradition of these things. You know, you have to have something, you know. How are you staying sane during lockdown?
Not is the answer. No, I think quite guiltily in a way. Like, I've actually got a lot from this time. Just, you know, the opportunity to practice in a really meaningful way. Not only with my music, but also with my Buddhist practice as well. It's been great. Yeah, and to spend a lot of time with my wife, which is really brilliant.
Yeah.
Because, as you well know, like if you're on the road all the time, you just don't see each other.
I guess particularly with Ildi, your wife is a performer as well, so it's like all evenings or weekends are probably just completely wiped out, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you do have time, you know, you're recovering from the travel and whatever. So that's been amazing. And yeah, now I've been fortunate to be able to get by money-wise. So
Great.
I'm not completely ruined yet, although that is
yeah.
obviously approaching. So.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, playing.
How is your exercise regime? So just a little bit of history then. The first gig I tried to book Tom Farmer for, everyone, he was doing some sort of triathlon or Tough Mudder thing or the Great North Swim. I can't remember what. So you know, that impression has really stuck. I mean, Tom is quite a sporty person, to be fair. So are you doing much running and stuff like that still, or?
Yeah, I'm still
cool.
In the midst of a training block, I guess. Yeah. So just trying to have a last ditch attempt at running a 10k at a reasonable time.
Okay.
So
and a reasonable time is
sub 40 minutes. That's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, just
that's fast, man.
So I'll be week 14 of a 24-week block.
Okay.
That I've been doing since lockdown, basically. So.
Do you use any performance-enhancing music to try and make you?
Solo podcasts, only podcasts when I run.
Wow.
Don't really do music.
I guarantee you will run faster if you listen to. This is how I broke a 21-minute 5K, which for me was a breakthrough. There's a Meshuggah song called I, which is 21 minutes long. So I try and do park run, and halfway through the song, there's a silence, very briefly. So you can do the first 2.5. And then if you time it right, you get that silence, you know, assuming you're trying to distribute the time and speed or whatever uniformly in that way. But
yeah, well, great. We did the mile end park run together.
We did, yeah. Oh man, park run. I miss park. I did a park run today actually. My wife even did a park run today. Respect, Amy. Well done. You don't watch like Netflix and you don't waste your life putting just.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do. What are you checking out?
We just started watching the Ratched thing, the Ratchet, yeah, about the character that's based on the thing from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty out.
Great. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry. I've just completely changed the topic. I really don't like the way I look in this light, but it's too dark. Initially, these started with natural light. Tom, this is how I looked when we had our last conversation. I'm just like so happy. and like my hair's like fresh from Tony and Guy, and like now
You look like you're post-run. You
I'm
just done some exercise.
yeah. Now I'm just like withered. um, but anyway, so we've got one more video, and this is going to close out this week's Quarantine Zone. Next week, I'm going to have a chat and listen to some music that I played on with Andrew Small, who's an amazing drummer. It's more of like a groove project thing, which has been a nice kind of different thing for me to do. And Andrew's done some really, really interesting things. So we had a good chat today about that. I'm looking forward to sharing that with everyone. So
Great.
yeah, so thanks everyone for coming and hanging out. It's always really nice just to do something.
Yeah.
T, it's nice to catch up with you, brother. And
Yeah, likewise, man.
tell us about this video, but before or while you do, I just want you to appreciate the setup in our living room that I did in your honor. Just
Oh, wow.
anyone, so this is like the world's smallest jazz club vibes.
Nice.
And when people see the video that we're about to watch, that will hopefully become slightly more significant. Talk to me about this role reversal thing that you did for the Birmingham video.
Yeah, so jazz. Yeah, so they run some jazz concerts in the Symphony Hall in Birmingham, which is the huge 2,000-seater. But the way that they do these concerts is to sit everyone on the orchestral seats. So as the audience, you're sitting on the stage, and we play with the auditorium to our back. So it's kind of amazing. So you get the benefits of this amazing sounding room. And the light and the kind of just grandness of the thing, but then also a manageable audience. You don't have to sell 2,000 seats.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I remember doing a foyer gig there once, and it turned out that Stephen Osborne, amazing concert pianist, he was performing, but it was Messiaen's Chirangalila Symphony, which anyone who knows it is a terrifying piece.
It's a favourite.
Yeah, it's great. And so after our jazz gig, we snuck in there for free. They let us go in for free, or with reduced rates, I think. And then we drove home. That was a really, really amazing experience too.
Yeah.
But so well. We'll let people see the video, but this piece.
Yeah, this piece. I think we're going to play "Conflict in Our Time." Is that the piece? Yeah, I think so. Again, another long one. Sorry.
It's good.
Maybe it can fade out.
Nah, it's good.
But, again, bass solo at the start. Yeah, this is a piece I wrote a long time ago, 2014, I think, 15. And it's kind of it's a pun title, but really it's about the fact that there's always in all epochs, in all eras, there's always some kind of conflict going on. And again, it's a slow burner, and again underwritten, so it's probably there's a form and a brief head and an intro, and we use it to explore the space. So in this particular case, I had Nathaniel go and play in the auditorium, so he's right down the other end of the hall. And you kind of get a sense of it from the video. We actually edited the video a bit to make it a bit smoother, but in the moment, this piece was like 20 minutes long, and he walked through the auditorium and he's playing this really ethereal kind of plain chant kind of thing, and then came back onto the stage and absolutely shredded for like 10 minutes, and it's yeah.
Oh, great, man. It's so good to hear Nathaniel, man. When I first moved to London, I would see him just at jam sessions in the house bands and playing a lot more. I'd love to see him more, and
yeah, man,
and hope to.
He's around. He's playing. Yeah, he's got a full-time job, but he plays increasingly only like him. I don't know anyone who plays like Nathaniel. He's a force, a musical force. So it's amazing to be part of.
So, okay, well, let's call it there. So we're going to leave it to Lewis Wright, Nathaniel Facey, Shaney Forbes, and Mr. Tom Farmer. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for sharing these amazing videos. They're all on YouTube, folks. Please do go and check them out. Plenty more from Empirical, and see them when things open up again.
Yeah.
Nice one, T. Let me share this.
And thanks so much for doing all this. It's amazing, to have people like you in the scene, keeping stuff happening,
Oh, man. My pleasure, man. It's nice to hang out, even if it's only online. All right, here we go. Nice one, Tom. See you soon, brother.
Nice one. Peace. extended piece of mine. We're going to continue.